All right, hey everybody. So welcome to the second episode of the Aura Fury podcast. I'm your host, Jakohai. Today with me, I have a couple of streamers in the community, and they're going to tell you a little bit about what they do for the community and what their channels are about. Introduce themselves real quick. So starting off, I'm going to get down to the man, Highest Flow. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name's Highest Flow, or Mikey, whichever one works with me. I am here for y'all's enjoyment. I like to make people happy. I stream a variety of games, mostly like Overwatch and Final Fantasy, though. But I'm here to hang out and have fun and just spread love through the community, because that's, at the end of the day, what we all about. We all trying to have a good time. We gamers. So in saying that, let me lead you to the next dude who I know is a big old lovely guy. Holla at King.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here, by the way, and it's really such an honor. My name's King Reaper. I go by King or Reaper, doesn't matter. I too like Highest Flow. I'm a variety streamer, although it is mainly Overwatch at the moment as well. My involvement with Aura Fury is that I am on the board of directors as head of PR for this nonprofit organization, as well as help oversee a lot of our esports side of the community. But enough about me. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off to Rinvinder.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Ren or Rinvindor, whichever one everyone prefers. I do a little bit of work in Aura Fury, I like to think, sometimes, occasionally. Mainly I do content creation advice or general IT and troubleshooting. That's my entire background, is that. Basically everything I do as far as my content, though, is a little bit different. I like my variety. I like my retro. It's it's a back wall. It's one of 5 of them. But board games too, when I find the time. But my main thing is some people might be familiar, Dungeons and Dragons and or other tabletop games. I work as a published author writing books.
Nice. Well,
Yeah, that's hella dope.
yeah, no, we're going to talk
that's
about
quite the
everybody's
collection.
channels and what they contribute
tell my
to the
wife.
community and stuff like that here soon. I think what we're going to get into first is we're going to go over some news that's been going on in the community. So a lot of it is going to be centered around Vintage Story and the Winter Wonderland events that was held inside of the Vintage Story servers. So inspirations and design contests were held, and we have the results here. So first category that we're going to go over is the shape category. We have some honorable mentions to talk about before we get into the first place winner, which were Dragolithic's Dragon and Mama Jamma's Canopy Jar, both really well done. Go check them out if you're in the server, and if you were able to see them, I'm sure you already know how great they were. But the person who took the first place prize is going to be Ahuano with their incense burner. So congratulations to them. They ended up getting a $25 gift card on Steam, which is super cool. And I think the honorable mentions got it as well, which is really nice. So we got a pattern category coming up next, which we have the honorable mentions, including Mama Jamma again with their mill, and then Vasimir's inspiration motif. So without any further ado, the first place winner for the pattern category is Moon for their floral wreath. So again, $25 Steam gift card to them. Congratulations to both the first place winners and the honorable mentions for doing a really good job. I'm sure it took a ton of time and work, and you guys are really creative. And I want to, shout out the people that are willing to put in time to bolster up the community, specifically in Vintage Story, and make all this cool content for everybody in the community and everybody on the servers. And it's definitely appreciated, and we see your hard work, and very much all love to everybody who was involved. If you want to see more of the entries that we didn't talk about here and learn more about the contest, visit Ashantin's YouTube channel, which should be in the description of this video. And you can see the videos surrounding the event. And more on the Winter Wonderland part of Vintage Story. That all went super well. The members of the server got together and created holiday decorations to decorate a part of the server. Super impressive. You can actually go into the server and see all the results yourself to get a better description about what it was than me just iterating it to you. It's near the spawn, specifically near the Great Tunnel entrance. So go and give that a look if you're in Vintage Story. And if not, I'm sure we'll have a bunch of content up in the server so you can give it a peek too. And if you aren't into Vintage Story yet, maybe that'll be the gateway into the community that way. Speaking on that, the community member Mikey from the Vintage Story server has become the new host of the Vintage Story server web map. Now loads exceptionally faster. You can check it out online at aurafurymap.ga. Dracker, Ayla and a team from the community have been working really hard to get all the map stuff updated. And if you want to get to be a part of that community, contact Ayla. I'm sure they'll give you a bunch of information about what you can do to help out. Any sort of help is appreciated, no matter how big or small. If you feel like being a part of that team, go ahead and give it a shot in any capacity you can. If not, just enjoy the results too. Just be a part of the community, and I'm sure everyone who's a part of it will feel like their effort has come back around to good use for everybody that's a part of it. So finishing off with Vintage Story for now, we're going to talk about something else we mentioned on the last podcast, which is Halo Nights, which have been a pretty good hit in the community. We're thinking about making it a more solid event, which is going to be Tuesdays. 9 p.m. Eastern time is going to be the starting time for these. We don't have a date of when it's going to start yet because we're waiting for Microsoft and the Halo team to finish a patch that's going to be going live that should be geared towards the matchmaking part of Halo. So, I mean, I have no idea. I'm not part of that team, the development team for Halo. So who knows when it's going to come out, but it's projected to come out later in the month. So keep your ears to the ground about that. And if you're interested in Halo or have Halo installed, but I haven't played with the community yet, maybe give that a shot when that becomes more of a regular thing and see if you can find your place in the Halo side of the community. So on that note, the esports team for Halo is something that a couple of people have come to us being Econ Brony and myself. If you are also interested in being part of an esports team surrounding the new Halo, please DM me, DM Econ. We'll get you pointed in the right direction and get you talking to the right people within the community that are like-minded. So again, just contact one of us and let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this podcast. So the goal of this is going to be introducing you, the community members, to a couple of community heads when it comes to content creation and streams. So we have a wide variety of people here to tell you more about what they do on their channel, specifically like Twitch side of things. So we'll start in the same order that we introduce ourselves, and we can go ahead and talk about what your channel is geared around. What do you do when it comes to content? Why do you do it? What's fun about it? Talk to us a little bit. And of course, feel free to talk, not necessarily over each other, but pinball off each other's ideas. Talk about if you resonate with something, get that going.
All right, so I'll start us off here. I started streaming about early April 2020 is when I really gave it a try. I caught affiliate pretty fast thanks to some friends who just lurked in chat and offered their time to just hang out a little bit. It was cool because the Valorant beta had just come out at that time, and I was just getting into PC gaming, and it was right around my birthday, so it all kind of happened right at a cool moment in time. And what was really cool was there's still a handful of people that I still keep in touch with when I first started streaming that hang out in my Discord sometimes or shoot me messages to play some games. I actually was able to give them some of the beta key codes for Valorant when that dropped. So that kind of got me started. But I guess, I never really gave streaming 100% of my effort. So mostly all the time, I ended up streaming was just goof off with some friends and have a good time. And something that I've been promoting my whole life, I guess one of my moral codes is I'm always here to make somebody smile. That's my goal in life. I just want to make somebody smile. If you're having a bad day, if you're having a good day, I'm just here to give out the good vibes. A lot of people know that about me. Mostly everybody knows that about me. Sometimes, I do get a little, nobody's perfect. Overwatch be hurting sometimes.
That is a
be hurting
fact.
sometimes.
Overwatch? No.
That is a fact. You and I both are of the same mind, Mikey. We hate that we love the
It's
game
just
so
like-
much.
It's just like League of Legends. You don't get angry. It
Oh,
doesn't-
Oh
no,
yeah,
no,
well, get
no.
out of here on that.
I never heard
No,
about that.
hasn't happened.
Everyone's
I only
everyone's
know Zen.
so joyful.
That's a good one to know. Zen's cool.
Peace
No,
and tranquility.
peace and tranquility. Yo, that's how I try to leave every stream I'm in, or like if I'm hanging out in another streamer's chat, I'll be like, peace and love when I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? Just ayo. But yeah, I think it's really cool to just like spread good vibes. So that's something that's keeping me going. I've met a lot of people through Twitch. A lot of Overwatch streamers like Silvok, not Rickles. He doesn't really stream anymore, but Pure Oxen, he was like really high ranked McCree NA. And it was by chance, like I happened to meet these people. Like my friend was actually being toxic in a game, in a quick play game. And he was like, you're hacking. And meanwhile, like I was like, hey, nice shot. Hey, good stuff. And he was like, hey, nice shot to you too. So it was like kind of back and forth between me and him. And then his duo and my duo were just talking shit the entire game. So I was like, well, you're cool. And he's like, well, you're cool. And then he plugged his Twitch at the end, and I went and saw his Twitch, and then just like one thing led to another. It's like I ended up meeting one guy, then the other, and now it's like I know a whole bunch of people who play Overwatch who's like, I love them and their communities, and it's just like it's not what everybody makes it as, like Overwatch as being this terrible place. Like look at these people around me too. Like I met these people through Overwatch as well, so I got nothing but good things to say. All love and good vibes. But that's me. So enough about me. I can go on forever. I just like making people laugh. I think if I can leave you with anything about me, it's I'm here to make people enjoy life a little bit more. That's all. So I'm gonna throw it off to King and
Thank you.
let him roll with it.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, my good friend. Unlike Mikey, I am doom and gloom. No, that is not true. That is not true.
I see it all over your face. I see it all over you.
So upset about this. I'm playing Overwatch.
Wait, you're a bad actor though. That's how can you do that so good?
Sorry. I hate Overwatch. No. So Mikey and myself, our personalities click extremely well. We've co-streamed together. We hang out all the time. I mean, geez, man, we've hung out like till 5 a.m.
Dude, it's only been like 6 months since I known you too, or something.
Yeah,
like
man.
that.
And
months?
it was actually my childhood friend who was like, hey, you need to go follow this guy. And I was like, all right. And within 10 minutes, I knew right away. I was like, I love this individual so much. And I just started giving him I subscribed, I followed, I started gifting subs and stuff. And then I actually met Mikey through Gabe and through just Juco High. And I mean, since then I've had the most fun in my entire life, and having him here in Aura Fury is the best thing in the world with the rest of you guys. But for myself, it was January 1st, 2021. And I decided on my own, in the midst of my second deployment, I was going to start streaming no matter what. It was something I had a lot of interest in. I excuse me. I felt as if I have the energy and the type of personality that can just bubble into other people. I've been like that my whole life, and I wanted to find a platform that I could do that. And Twitch was my gateway. Streaming was my gateway to interact with so many people around the world and just get them to laugh. That's the best thing in the world, man, is if you could just meet somebody new, get them to laugh, whether it's because you made a goofy play or you know, you popped off and you said something funny or whatever. You know, it's priceless moments like that really pushed me into wanting to do this more. So I promised myself, I said, no matter what, when I get back, I'm going to start. And I realized that that's where a lot of people fail when they're trying to start up a Twitch or anything like that. It's just that they're too scared to start because they don't have the right equipment. I'll tell you right now, I'm doing it off my laptop. And I've been doing it off my laptop since day one while I'm saving for a whole, brand new computer. Over time, I bought a camera, I bought a mic, I bought a new headset. I went on Fiverr and I started building and growing my community more and more. and I started streaming. My very, very first stream was April 17th, 2021.
Hey, yo, that's
And
the day
since-
after my birthday, cut. Let's go.
That was my very first stream. And of course, there are hundreds of thousands of streamers, right? But just like Mikey, you have a couple friends who are like, yo, bro, let's go. I got you, homie. And they sit in there and you vibe. And
Shout
then
out to all you beautiful people.
that's a
the
fact,
support.
Jack.
Shout
I
out
wouldn't
to
be
the
here if it weren't for
supporters.
you. That's a fact, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't do it
But
without the family.
Right?
that's true, man. That's true. That's true. So then since then, I've managed to grow my community via word of mouth, social media, doing the shameless plugs of Overwatch, you got to start somewhere. And when you do, you get some pretty incredible people. I've met people from Europe, Australia, South Africa, Ireland, I have friends in Germany now, and all these people are absolutely amazing. And it's an opportunity given to you when you just go and do it. But I've been making content or streaming really since April 17th, 2021. And like I said earlier, it's been mostly Overwatch, but I'm slowly starting to shift to other variety stuff. And it's not that I just don't enjoy streaming Overwatch anymore. It's that I'd like to broaden my base, like to bring in more people in here. And so just recently I started streaming Rocket League, which I'm not the best at that, but it's still fun.
We
And
do
I
the
do enjoy it.
we
I
do
enjoy it.
the occasional shit flip. It's
Hey,
okay.
dude, I was born
I don't know how to
to
do
shit
that.
flip.
I still haven't
Dude,
learned shit. Flip.
You are too good. All right. Listen, man. Those
man.
fingers, they work.
they so every now and then I manage to pull off something nutty. And it's those moments where your chat's just like, oh, and you're just like, oh, and it's the vibe. It's really, really the vibe.
But if you're ever in his stream and we haven't played it yet, bug him about it, because we're supposed to play It Takes Two at some point in life.
Ooh.
At some point in life.
That is true.
It
I
Takes
was
is
playing that
true,
with
we
my
do.
wife.
How was
Is
it?
it-
It was
is it
fun,
good?
right?
It is. I can see why it won
Game of the year.
awards for some people,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Uh-huh.
also have friends who are fairly critical in certain aspects.
Mhm.
And as a child of divorce, I can see why like those comments have been made. Like, because like you'll basically to summarize it pretty quickly, you'll
Mhm.
do like an activity with your partner, and it's like, oh, you've got to learn to work together.
Yeah.
And there's the talking book. Once you play, you'll get it with an outrageous accent. And so you'll do that
yeah.
activity, but then like at the end of the activity, after it's over, they go back to bickering. And I'm just like, all right.
Where's
And
the progress?
It's that the whole game.
The whole game.
The whole
Interesting.
game.
I just
Until,
all right.
until like the very end.
See, like, I had an idea about what it was about and stuff, but like I watched a friend play a little bit of it, but I just thought the activities would be fun. You
The
know what I
activities
mean?
are fun. Like the first one is like because you have to like obviously it's got puzzles and platforming.
Yeah.
But you solve those together. But then you have like these activities that are like, I was surprised there were boss fights too. Didn't
Oh.
expect that, honestly. Yeah, there
Okay.
are boss fights. They're
Yeah, I've
not
been going
difficult.
I'm ready to go into this game completely blind.
It's, it's pretty enjoyable overall. But then you have like these mini games that you can also do with each other, and they're like mini
okay.
PvP things. Like the
Oh,
first
that's
one's like
kinda cool.
whack-a-mole. It was a blast.
Yo.
I,
Hey yo,
my
we
wife,
can
my wife
back
refuses
that
to play that
chrome
mini
though.
game. I am
Wow.
apparently too good.
We'll get now. You've already started talking about the game that you've.
Yeah,
played. We'll get
absolutely.
into you. And I'll talk. We'll talk more on It Takes Two and those kind of games right after that because I got some takes. So
I got some
Yeah.
takes.
Got some takes.
Dude, Justin always has some nice input, so I'm excited to hear that too.
This is true. This is true. Please take it away, Rin.
Oh, all right. I mean, I don't know what more would there be to say for me. For the most part, my content. Funny enough, I've been streaming since 2017. I started back when, yeah, I'm not quite old hat, but I'm not quite young whippersnapper either.
that's more than anybody else in this
but-
call. So that's
Yo,
but,
you
it's
gotta
like-
respect
I'm
the,
also-
the
you
five
also-
years. That's
you
fine.
know, G.
I had like because like you said, King. Like I very much wanted to bounce off, but I didn't want to interrupt you on that part. 10 out of 10. If you're thinking about streaming, just do it. Just do the thing. Just start. Look at what you need to do. Look at the basic tips. Come pester me in the or if you're Discord. I will answer your questions. Just the important thing is to hit the broadcast button. Damn
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yes.
man.
Because
Go
you
live.
can nip. I'm a perfectionist, and I spent, I want to say like 6 months prepping.
Oh,
But in
man.
my defense, all of my prepping was literally just understanding the software and going
Mhm.
gearhead level with it. Because I was like, well, I want to understand how to do everything versus just hitting like the broadcast button. But I can
Mhm.
also write custom scripts. I can do different things. Like I've got 3 cameras set up for mine. I've got a 5 monitor computer here. It's my main rig. I've got a secondary server
Wow.
behind me, and I have
Wow,
19
okay.
consoles that are all hooked up. So that anytime somebody wants to play something, I can immediately turn on one of the 19 consoles and play that game.
Let's
I'm-
go.
A retro collector, so I have.
This is
I
quite the
think-
opposite.
I think of as of this 28th, I will officially have 900 games, and it's because Pokemon comes out, and I have to buy a copy for me and
Yeah,
a copy for my
yeah.
wife.
Let's
Hell,
go.
that-
That's a
collection.
gamer right there.
That's a freaking game.
But-
Hey, what are we doing?
Absolutely. You
What are we
just need
doing
to
for
start.
1K though?
Yeah,
Yo,
that's true. What are we doing for 1K
What are we?
games?
Can we do like a big thing for 1K?
Christ, please! I don't want to think about having 1,000 games. It's already bad enough.
Oh, you're gonna.
we're all
have-
thinking about it
Listen.
now. You opened up the
Yeah,
box.
yeah.
man.
You,
It's-
My mind is just-
congratulations, Pandora's box has now been opened.
Yeah, no, that's got to be something.
I can probably go a couple of years without hitting 1,000 if I don't try to
this is your
collect for the Dreamcast.
Hey,
Oh, no, this is your New Year's resolution.
Or the
Congratulations.
Sega Genesis.
Oh,
We can
no.
talk.
Listen,
If I don't, I've only got like 3 games for the Genesis, and I don't have a Genesis, and I don't have a Dreamcast, but I've got actually 3 games for the Dreamcast as well. So, but
Dude,
if
I
I don't
might-
collect for it,
I might have a
be fine.
Genesis.
don't.
I have
There
a
you go.
Genesis. I have
No,
like
no,
5.
I would console count shame you, but I have 3 PS3s, 3 360s, 3 Wii's, 6 PSPs, and some other. I have no idea.
I would
as you can
ask
see, there's a bunch
why-
of handhelds behind. Like, I worked at GameStop at one point, so
Oh,
I get
there
that.
you go.
That's where. yeah.
and there was that period of like 3 or 4 years where like PS3s and 360s were worthless. And
Mhm.
people thought like GameStop was taking customers for a ride. And I'm like, no, legitimately, this thing is worth nothing. There was, I want to say it was 2018. We gave away 360s. It was a buy,
wow.
it was a buy 2 get 1 free on pre-owned things, which they'd never done before. They only do like games like 99% of the time.
Mhm.
This one time they did pre-owned things, and I literally had people come in and buy like 3 Xbox 360s, and it was buy 2 get 1 free, but then you got a rebate for Xbox 360s if you bought them to get them for free. Like, we're just trying to clear them out of inventory
Wow.
with the
Wow.
expectation
Yeah,
that it's a
no,
rebate.
I got my
so
I
you
got my
won't do it.
mother one for a Netflix machine. I got her an Xbox 360 arcade for $9, and I was like, "Here, now you
Yeah.
can watch Netflix."
Yeah, they're
Damn, let's go. He said $9.
literally-
That's a
yeah.
steal.
cheap still, honestly. Well, PS3
We gotta
not
watch
so
out.
much. They're a
Yeah,
little
about to say
pricier.
PS3s are starting to get in certain models of the Xbox 360 that haven't red ringed. They're starting to become a little bit
Yeah.
more collectible.
That's why I've held on to mine, and I do hardware mods. So I've modified, like, I've got a PS3 that's PS2 backwards compatible, and it's my pride and joy.
Mm.
Unfortunately,
we can
the
definitely
Blu-ray
talk
drive
shop.
does not work. And I actually have right here the daughter board that goes to the Blu-ray drive. I have like 3 of these, and I've been trying to get this damn thing to marry it, which is the term when you try to sync up a new drive.
Yeah.
It's not worked. That thing has sat there for like 8 months, and I'm about to move in like 2, and I'm like, oh, I need to finish this before I have to move like a broken apart PS3.
Yeesh.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I do Dungeons and Dragons, and I think of obnoxious ways to use technology to play tabletop games.
Hey, yo, I played my first session of Dungeons and Dragons last week.
I'm proud of you.
How was it? How
Dude,
was
it
it?
was freaking awesome.
Oh my
One
god!
question.
Thank you.
For the gamers in the chat, why don't you tell them what edition you played, just in case they don't know?
Well, the game that I'm running on actually YouTube is where I'm streaming most of my content right now for my D&D stuff. That's 5th edition.
Okay.
But I started in 2nd edition because I'm 31.
Mm.
And so I got started with my uncle when I was 8.
There
and
it
then
is.
I moved on and went to 3rd edition / 3.5. And that was like my bread and butter, where I know like most of it. Like, I just did a hard drive count on the total capacity for like all of my folders for tabletop
Dude.
stuff. It's 310 gigs.
Nice.
Let's go.
As of
Nice.
this morning, because we were in a conversation, I was like, yeah, I need to get a new hard drive because the 7 that I have right now in my main rig, those are almost all full, and I'm like getting antsy. I only have like 100 gigs left, and I'm like, it's only gonna be one big PC release, and I'm like, oh, I'm out of space.
Do you remember when 8 gigs was a lot?
Yeah,
I
right. I
do.
was about to say that 100 gigs, and now you're thinking about you're like, boy's got no space.
I built my first PC in 2012, so yeah, I definitely remember when it was like, hey, 2 gigs, that's a ton of RAM. Like, oh my god, you have so much RAM. We used to like, my dad and I, we would build rigs, and we'd go to like a Goodwill when you could still do that. Go to Goodwill and buy a whole PC. They would just have hard drives in them because the people would just get rid of them because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you're
Right.
like, I could just take out all these hard drives and combine them. Okay, yeah, sure. Why not?
And then you get 4,000 pictures of someone else's family that you get to curate through and keep the good ones.
No, you just right click, format, problem solves.
We've done that a couple times, and I love looking through like other people's pictures on like old hard drives. It's so funny. It's just like, okay. There was one picture, it was wild. This was like in my hometown, so it made sense. But there was a picture of me in their picture, like in their hard drive, because they were at a show that I was at too, and I was in the crowd and I could see myself, and I was like, dang,
That's pretty
Small
cool.
world.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
it was sick. I was like, whoa.
That would never happen here in Orlando. There's
Dude,
way
too many people. Yeah.
Same.
There's
Same.
14
I'm
people
in
where
the
I'm
Bay.
from.
I'm in the
I
Bay
grew
in
up in
California.
a town of 2,000, so I've lived a small one.
Oh man,
before.
Justin and I grew up. I don't know how big Deal was.
Deal's 1,300 people.
1,300 people. Yeah,
Mhm.
Justin and I grew up. We grew up together.
For about like 1,000
Um,
of them are all in the same family. So there's that.
Well, yeah.
All the rest are military.
Yeah, that's true.
You just run when you hear banjos. That's the rule of thumb. That's what I tell everyone.
Run when you hear banjos.
It's
That's-
true too.
Yeah, I gotta
Family
say, your
theme song.
collection is insane, man. Absolutely insane.
Hey, I'm
It's- Oh, it kills my
sorry,
wife.
sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
What I wanted to say
Don't say it
earlier
too
is with
loud.
when it takes two, I've only watched people play through it because my partner and I we like took a good analysis of that and said we probably shouldn't play that. I don't think we can handle that. So we didn't. But we watched her father and her brother play it together, and they had a lot of fun playing that, and it looked really cool. We might end up playing it anyway. But a game, if you like It Takes Two and you like that social discourse that comes with it, I recommend Battle Block Theater for anybody who has played
Okay.
that game.
Okay, I'll
It's
check
made
that out.
by Behemoth. It's made by the same people who did Alien Hominid and Castle Crashers and Pit People. And it's super fun platformer that's based around you have to have
Oh, I've
someone
seen
there
this.
and they like help throw you
What-
across
what is it called?
platforms. Battle Block Theater is
Theater.
I originally played it on the 360, but I think it's released on every platform now. It's made by the same
Yeah.
people who made Newgrounds, like Tom Fulp and all them. If
Mhm,
you're familiar with
mhm,
Newgrounds and that age of the internet, which really dates me, but it's like it's that crew, and it's a really good game. It's well made, and it's super fun and customizable, so you can just do whatever you want with it. Super good. But
I'm pretty sure we've all 4 of us have spent plenty of time on Newgrounds in like middle school and high school and played Madness
man.
when we shouldn't have played
Madness
it.
Interactive, my man.
Oh
that's
my
the
god.
one.
Remember the first
I
time
used to draw Hank in school for fun. I'd just be
God.
sitting there on my pen and paper, just
I'm like,
drawing little
oh,
fights.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I used to play that game so much. I actually got
I
detention once.
remember.
We got an IP band from our elementary school.
Oh
We got
no.
Madness Interactive IP band, and then they came out with Madness Blue, which was the lower rated version of Madness because the blood was blue, and that was the only difference. And that was an IP band, so we just played that instead.
I remember when Counter-Strike first came out, and one of our buddies managed to get it on the school computers, and we would sit in class and just be playing Counter-Strike with each other.
I was the guy who got Halo on PC for every single computer in our school in high school. And yeah, it's weird how no one got anything done ever.
ever. Yeah.
See, I went to high
Crazy.
It's
school.
before IP bans too, so
I went to a high school where that didn't really happen, right? Like the gaming aspect wasn't really like a huge, but people weren't getting anything done for other reasons.
That's just public school. That's just how it goes.
It is probably.
Everybody-
I
most
think
people
that
like
was just
that.
the area I grew up in, man.
I mean,
And,
I went to high school in Kentucky,
I went to high school in Oakland, so I don't know if anybody knows where Oakland is and what goes on in Oakland. I mean, it's nowhere near the same as it is now. Like, I think that's a whole nother topic, but you know. I still loved it. I think the most people did was change the background on the computer to something raunchy, and it was all over the library computers. And then just to watch that I love that old librarian, bro. She was so nice and sweet. She had to deal with so much shit. She just would walk over there and be like, you just hear her give out the biggest sigh, and she goes and she defaults the background again and then walks away. And then
shout out to the librarians for real.
They're
my
safe
safe
haven.
haven.
Putting tacos and books and shit. Like,
literally the bottom rung of behavior, but literally we're just like, we're never, from my experience, really never out to get anybody. I would hide in my library between classes I didn't want to go to. And they were just like, yeah, man, you do what you want. So
yeah, I spent my time playing RuneScape.
There it is. I
Good times.
I spent my senior year building a 3D printer in the library.
Hey, yo, let's go.
It was sick. They're like, you're doing something for me?
Option. God.
Yeah, it was like right when 3D printing became an option for people to like actually have the tools to build it themselves. And it was a bad idea. It caught fire almost immediately, but it was sick. It was sick. Awesome. So I still have
2009 was not an option for us. We didn't 2009 there was no 3D printing.
No. You want to know what 3D printing was? It was building those little things.
with the popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
Glue.
Yeah. And if you were cool enough, you know what I'm saying? You made little field goals and made the little paper footballs, and you know what I'm saying?
And then when you got bored doing that, you threw it at your friend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All day.
We'll get into more of the gaming stuff that y'all brought up a little later, but let's keep on task a little bit, because we can just shoot the shit forever probably, which is what we're gonna get into probably later when we have everything wrapped up that we're supposed to cover. But what we talked a little bit about how long you all have started. You all told us your start dates and whatever, which is nice. But and a couple of you mentioned like what got you into it. But if you want to further elaborate on that, like more specifics, but even more specific is what keeps you invested in this lifestyle that is hitting, like you said, hitting the broadcast button, hitting the go live button. What gives you the motivation to meet the people once again online and keep that community going?
One answer, which I think we can all agree, is the people.
Oh, for sure.
It's the community, man. The people you interact with and you just talk to, and they come in, they're like, yo, King, what's up? And you're like, yo, dude, what's good? It's encouraging, uplifting, and just heartwarming every single time. Every single time. It's the reason why I wanted to keep pushing and push more into content creation. I mean, with like YouTube videos, TikToks, the whole shebang, and really, really push hard for it. It's because and I'm sure you guys agree as well, thoroughly love the people and the community that you're building.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like you could be having, so one thing about like the press the broadcast button is like, I've been dealing with that lately. So I have a lot of anxiety. I got a lot of, like mental health, like depression, whatever have you. I don't want to get into that, but a lot of that like has stopped me from like believing in myself and like further like, oh, you can do this, you can do that, when all my life like people have been very supportive of me. So it's kind of been like a counter thing for me that I've been dealing with. But like King said, the people that I have met on this platform, I don't want to say platform because it's not just Twitch. I stream on Twitch, but like it's collectively through everything that we get involved with. So like the people that I've been so lucky to meet, like I could be having my worst day. As long as I hit that as long as I hit that go live button and I get to talk to some of y'all, like it honestly just flips me 100%. And I forget about what's going on mentally and all these little things that I used to combat myself on. And then I get to focus on showing the love and like, the smiles that I was talking about and like empowering all of you guys. Cause like, enjoying the community is just it's unreal. It's unreal, especially while we're all trapped at homes and confined in this lockdown. It's been what, 2 years, almost 3 years now, and like we're still finding ways out to work and progress from home. So I think that's something that also pushes me. Is like I'm comfortable getting on stream and putting myself out there for everybody. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine with, you want to make a meme out of me, dude, I want to see it and laugh at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? I'm not gonna get hurt. Dude, I got Chrome Dome too. Everybody in this call got Chrome Dome except for
Justin.
High. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So I ain't worried about a little memes, a little making fun. It's all good. Just let me laugh too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Be careful.
first
Streaming
emote
makes you
was-
go bald. There's 3 of us right here to prove
Don't-
that.
That's literally my first emote was literally just.
The shine.
The headshot.
I'm known for being very exhausted with shenanigans,
I feel.
and my community is very they love to yank my chain. So that was the first emote, was an expression of deadpan and my bald, bright, shining head.
I love that.
It's a
I
nice
love
head
that.
though.
Yeah.
Can I say it's a nice head?
I agree. You know,
Like you are,
I'm lucky.
you got a nice head,
Yeah.
bro.
I have
Yeah,
the I
it's
have
true.
the shape of a head for a bald person,
He said,
which is
You know-
great because this started at 18.
dude, mine
Oh, I feel
right
that.
around
So-
there. When I was
Mine's
18,
16.
Right,
like
right.
18 to 21, I went like this, and like hair was coming out. I was like, God damn.
Oh no, I did the worst choice. I had Liberty spikes. Like, it was a good time.
Hell
I
yeah.
missed that
Yo,
hair.
do you have a picture? Do you have a
Yes.
picture? I need to see you with
Nope.
Liberty spikes.
I got
I
nothing.
got to. I got to.
My high school years, there is, I want to say confidently, sub 15 photos of me.
Oh damn.
Oh,
Well, we
I
gotta
was an
find
angsty
those
punk rock
15
kid.
photos.
So photos don't produce themselves when you're an angsty punk rock kid. But yeah, no, 18 rolled around and I was going to Florida for college, and I was like, all right, I've already lived in Florida once for a year. It was hot as hell. Pro
Yeah.
tip, it's still hot, don't come. And so I was like, oh, I'll just shave my head. So my senior year, I shaved my head, which freaked everyone out because, you know,
You go from Liberty spikes to nothing.
5-6 years, people have used to me like hair that's on end, and then there's nothing. They're like, you joining the military? I'm like, well, no. I have the physical fitness of a goldfish. No, God, no. And I can't see either. I have the eyes of an 80-year-old man. I'm geriatric mode 101. And I was like, no, I'm just moving. And then I was like, but it'll be fine. It'll grow back. It'll grow back.
Didn't grow back. Yeah.
It just
No.
didn't grow back.
No. It was like, hey, greatest disappearing act of all time.
Yeah. My hairline started falling back when I was 16. That's when it started. And I only noticed because I had hair on my pillow, and I was like, what is this? What is this? But it finally hit the brick wall when I went first day of boot camp. I went boom.
Yeah.
And that was that. I
return
was
once
like,
it goes.
oh,
You shave it, it's
man.
never coming back.
Justin's like,
Nope.
this is the Bald Chronicles 101. What the?
Yeah.
Dude, it's the
yeah.
baldcast, man.
You didn't know this
The
was a topic, but
baldcast.
bald people will always unite under this topic. We always reminisce on the
Dude,
day
oh,
we
hell
lost
yeah.
our
There's,
hair.
There's
there's
a-
always there's
What do you
always
think
one.
this is on my face for?
No, exactly. No, this is interesting that this has happened because this was not planned at all. I don't think. But there's a rule among
weird if it
podcasts,
was.
which is semi-popular, that there's only one bald person allowed per podcast, which is crazy that the inverse of that has happened. Now I, the minority here of the haired folk, I have to represent us, and I shout out to the viewers at home. I'm going to do a terrible job representing haired folk because I don't cut my hair. I don't keep my hair like nice. I wake up every morning. It should be bald at this point. I don't know. I do terrible things as I got in the sun. I lay face first in the
yeah.
sand. I don't keep track of this. But it just
I
doesn't
would like
go
to
away,
explain
so.
that I was doing Liberty spikes at a time where you couldn't just buy hair product for like purple hair.
Mhm.
You had to just do things that you wouldn't. Anyone who does hair stuff, Aquanet, rule 1. Rule 2, frequently Elmer's glue. Rule 3, if you wanted to dye your hair weird colors, not even joking about this, Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. But you got to be careful because that shit stains.
That was
That
the whole
shit
point.
Will stain.
Your skin.
That's why you use Elmer's glue to protect the rest of your skin.
That's the reason that was rule 2. There's
Oh.
the reason that's rule 2.
Oh.
I see now.
Holy
I
hell.
just had to make, I had to let them know. You know what I'm saying? Because
Players
some
use
people,
Elmer's glue too, though.
People are gonna.
They
People
don't-
were for
they
sure
don't-
gonna go home and try it. I
they're gonna
totally
Yeah, right,
get
they're
it.
gonna-
glue with the
My
Kool-Aid and
ex-
put it on their head.
I thought Elmer's glue was like a grungy punk kid thing only, and then I went to the cosplay community after moving to Florida, and I was like, oh fuck, I was wrong.
That's where I
as
heard about it
hell.
first too.
My
to
girlfriend at the
Katsucon,
time
saw
was
it.
like, oh no, she pulls out a glue stick, and I'm like, what do you do with a glue stick? And she's like, here, hold still, over my eyebrows, and I was like, what's happening to me? She was like, no, just so you don't stain your eyebrow. I was like, oh my god, you all are crafty and nerdy. Wow, look at this.
It's a beautiful thing.
It was
That's
not
that's
comfortable.
one of the most dangerous 2
Pretty.
things to spec into in your life is specking into to crafty and nerdy. It
Well, I mean,
It's a
yeah, no,
downward
that's the
slope.
thing. It's literally min maxing because there's so many things that crafty and nerdy do not help with. Paying your taxes does not help with. Doing car stuff. Nope. Looking cool
No.
at cons.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
still don't have a car.
And
My
you
wife
see,
does.
case in point, folks. Don't be crafty or nerdy. You
No,
man
no, no.
live in
No,
Florida,
you,
not
you
have a
can
car.
be crafty
Be
or you
one.
can be nerdy. Just don't be both.
It's the
if you're
perfect
both-
triangle.
Watch out.
Because the other, well, if you pick both,
Better
the
do it
other
well.
third option on that triangle was financially solvent, and yeah, guess which one you don't get to have.
It's a slippery
That's why my
slope,
wife tells me
everybody.
not to tell her the current value of our collection.
Oh, but aren't we supposed to be doing that?
Oh, mine's meticulously calculated. I use a program called Game Collector with a Z. But
Like
it's
he
pretty cool.
has it ready.
It-
He's pulling out his phone.
Oh, yeah, no.
I fucking
I also have a
love
custom
it.
pop socket for my channel.
I love it.
Hey,
there you go.
The
No,
red.
but, I use this program and it lets you use your phone to scan the barcodes on the back of cases. And it'll
Perfect.
automatically add it.
Solid.
I have a similar
Insurance.
program with my magic cards. So yeah, that's perfect.
Oh yeah, no, I've got one for my magic cards too that I never play.
I
Dude,
mean, that's
Jimmy-
the perfect of having magic cards. We talk about the game, we don't play.
Oh
That's
yeah,
not-
yeah. I have 6,000 cards. I haven't played in 8 years.
That's what this
I
is. This
have
5
10
row. You
decks.
can see it a little bit.
play. I've never heard of that. What did
Nah,
you do?
I didn't know you could. I thought it was like baseball cards.
I just thought they looked pretty.
Got a guy on it. I don't know.
I've got a friend who will beat the hell out of me in it though. That's why he lives an hour away now.
Straight up dip.
And I'm moving further
you
for
stay
a
over
tired of
there.
getting wrecked. If I wanted to lose and feel bad about myself, I'd look back at my childhood.
Yeah, we got VODs for that. I don't know.
Yeah, I've already got VODs of me losing at Banjo Kazooie and possibly
Yo.
swearing a great deal.
That game is amazing though.
Oh, it's fine. I did fine the whole way through that game. I had it as a kid, never beat it, and I've had a new copy of it for like 5-6 years. And I'm poly, to clarify. And my girlfriend, while we were dating, she was like, "Oh, you should play it and finally beat it. You absolute damn bum." And I was like, "All right, sure." And I played it on stream, and it's fine the whole way through. We played it for over 3 days, and then I got to the end of the game. And let me tell you that I spent 3 hours trying to beat that fat witch. And I cannot express how much I did not win every single time. And after 3 hours, I was like, I'm done. Rage quit live on stream. I was like, nope, we're playing something else. The hell with this.
Have you gone back and beaten it at all?
Hell no.
Dark Souls ain't got shit on
No,
me.
it'd be like that. I played
Ew.
Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts on the 360, which the worst part about that game that isn't true of Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie is that the gameplay's bad. So that's a whole new element to the game.
I have it, but I've never played it.
You
I've heard that though.
You shouldn't. But there's this whole element of the game that they
I'm
didn't have in the
curious.
first two is that the gameplay is not fun. It's not good. But if you beat the game, specifically, the more you go into the game, the more access you have to the thing I'm about to mention.
Yeah.
But there's a sandbox mode for like 8 people, and it's so much fun. You get to build your own vehicles, and there's this huge terrain, and you just mess around and have
You
fun.
could have just
blow each
easily
other
had
up.
that as another side option. You'd be like, oh, this is really fun.
No,
That's-
you
and
have to go
No.
through hell first.
you have
yeah.
to you have to
Absolutely. You
beat
gotta
the
earn it.
game to get all the pieces to build the vehicles. So what I ended up doing is I got frustrated because I wasn't having fun playing the game. I was hating it. I just wanted to play the sandbox with my friends. So I just I went to school and I paid a kid to give me his hard drive that had the finished date on it. And I just took it home. I was like,
Exactly how you
no
Nerdy
chance.
and crafty.
Workarounds.
Nerdy and crafty.
That's worth paying, honestly.
It
I've
was.
done
It's
similar
so
before.
worth.
Yeah, no,
I love
I did
it.
the
You
same
keep
with
up that
Metroid Dread.
nerdy and crafty, Justin, you're gonna lose your hair. Watch out.
It's coming one day. Yeah,
Good
no,
days.
I also rage quit on Metroid Dread. Actually, that was another one that I was just like,
Oh man.
it's a good game, but I'm gonna have that contentious opinion that games should have an easy mode. I'm old. I'm old, and I
Dark
don't have
Souls.
time to dedicate to the get good community. Respect to them that they are able to get good, but what about the people who like are physically disabled and can't do it? It's like maybe just not gatekeep from them and let them play. And people who
Yep.
suck like me who just don't want to get good. And I'm like, sorry. Like I'm fine if the game was like you have an easy mode on and the screenshots. I don't care. I'm like I beat the game. That's all I'm at. I'm here for the story, not
Right.
for the screams. I was here
Right.
for screams. I played Silent Hill.
See, I played Sekiro. I played Sekiro last year.
Oh
was
my
pretty fun.
god.
That was
And,
hard, but it was fun.
I didn't beat it.
I
We
I
didn't
didn't,
have
even
that
get
kind of
I didn't even get through the first boss.
I
I
didn't beat
turned
it.
that on, got like partway through the first part, and was like, "This is ass. I'm done." I quit.
I got
There
through the
was
Which is
first boss,
also
but
what
not the
I've done
second.
with Dark Souls.
Did you guys? I forget like what bosses were which because everything was just fucking hard to kill.
I thought
I've
the
never-
giant was the boss. It turns out he wasn't.
the giant
Oh,
body
God.
slammed me so many times. I wish I imbued a counter in either my stream or my PC for how many times I got picked up and slammed like a sack of potatoes.
See, that's why I have a counter on my stream deck for that exact reason.
Smart.
No, my chat also has access to it via chat commands too, which they
Mhm.
frequently love to be on top of long before I ever hit it. They'll count it before I even die, and then I get mad, but then I die like 3 seconds later. So they kind of knew it was going to happen.
Just to keep us on task a little bit, I know we were talking about what keeps us all invested in. It seemed like community was like the consensus. If we want to talk more about that, we definitely can hit back on it. But another thing that questions we want answered is we talked about a little bit with you, King, about the equipment that you started on, and then Rin, you talked about the kind of setup that you have now. So the question really is, I mean, obviously like equipment that you have now, equipment that you started with, the progression, but more importantly, I think is what do you recommend for people getting into the streaming community and the lifestyle now? What software do you recommend that just made your life so much easier that you wish you had at the beginning? What kind of equipment, hardware, anything that you could shout out right now as like maybe 1 or 2 things that are like, all right, this will save your life when it comes to this kind of job.
Yeah,
Stream Deck.
stream deck
That
is
is
a
amazing.
lazy man's best friend. Honestly, like it's
Fantastic.
one of those things that it was one of the first upgrades that I bought because I'm a gearhead in general. Like I build custom rigs for people all the time. So I help with hardware and software issues for people in the community. And Stream Deck was like, I bought that like 3 or 4 months into streaming. And I cannot imagine trying to manage a stream without it just because it's tedious. Even from a guy like me, who again has 5 monitors, I still wouldn't want to move my mouse to the scene that I need to go to and click on it. It wouldn't want to. Granted, if you don't want to spend 100 some odd, are they still 150? I think they're 150.
I think
I
they're
saw
like
one of mine.
Yeah, I got mine. I got mine. For
There's a mini.
150.
Yeah.
Chat, do not buy the mini.
No.
Economically,
There's
that is
advice.
the worst choice ever. It's 6 buttons for $100. Save another $40 and get 15. It just don't.
The
don't make
15,
that
the
mistake.
15 one is smooth. It's great, and I'm telling you right now, not
There's a new
only
version
can
of
you
it, too.
have, there is a new version, which I believe is the one I got my hands on.
Is it
Oh,
detachable cable?
Yes.
Then it is.
Nice.
Mine's not.
Okay. Oh, so I did this thing where I gave my buddy $150 for Christmas as a gift because I didn't know exactly what he wanted, and he gave me a stream deck. Kind of right at the same time. Yeah,
the exact transaction. Perfect. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Stream Deck
exactly.
hands down is like the thing. Other than that, for budget conscious people, just getting started, probably a Logitech C920, or there's that new Elgato face cam that's pretty good as far as sensors go. Either one of those two is like that'll carry you. You don't need a DSLR $500 camera like I have. You don't need one unless you're
the
somebody
camera
who's
I'm
just a
using is only
gearhead.
$100.
If you've got money to burn, sure. But if you're budget conscious, C920 or the Elgato, I'm like 90% sure it's called a face cam. Those are really good ones. And then other than that, really just
you can rock it
mic, which
I mean, I was rocking it for a while on this mic until I paid $100 for this Yeti Micro, or I'm sorry,
Nano.
Blue Yeti Nano.
Yeah, the Blue Yetis are the ones I started with too. I gave that one to my wife, but now I use an Audio Technica A2020 that's set up with, it's an XLR mic, and so that one goes into. I'm actually about to buy a $500 one, so it's fine. So this one actually goes back into a Go XLR, which then also has a side link with what's called a PC Panel Pro. I don't have an easy way to show it off, but I basically have like, I think it's 15 buttons and knobs to control audio from different sources. Because I'm an audio person. Like, if there's one bit of advice besides starting a stream that I would give technical wise, make your audio good. Your video can be like,
please.
Yeah,
we'll
you
talk
can buy
later,
like
Mikey.
a $40
I've been
like
trying to get to talk to you for so long.
webcam and get by. People are like, because a lot of people who are watching you, I'll be real with you, they're going to minimize you. They're going to minimize, they're going to do their other thing because they don't have 5 monitors. They've usually got 1, maybe 2. If they got 2 and they love you, you might be on one whole one. But they're usually going to, they like to listen and multitask and then tab back in and comment on what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if your audio is just god awful, nobody wants to hear like cats screeching in the background, birds calling out of thunder.
That is true.
Going off, fireworks. Like, just try not to have that. That's like the one thing. So if you can find a semi-decent mic, usually Blue Yetis are a pretty good recommendation overall, just for their audio quality.
Absolutely, especially for a starting out mic, for its pricing. Like I said, I only paid $100 for this
The
one.
only other one that I would recommend at this point is back to Elgato, and that's the Wavelink, and that's because they've added what's called VSTs, and they just allow you to customize how you sound a lot better, and they also have some pretty solid noise cancellation features, so you don't need an RTX card like mine to then use RTX to noise cancel. It's part of it. You just USB plug in and it just goes. If you're not a tech savvy person and you're not trying to be, it's also a really good pickup, but I actually don't know how much those are.
Also, there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos for like 3 quick, easy ways to make your microphone sound way better on stream. If you're using Streamlabs or just regular OBS, there's like quick 3 little things. You do like a gate, a limiter, and a compressor, and it'll literally change your entire sound of your microphone.
I'll be doing videos walking people through that coming up soon too. Specifically for streams dedicated to certain games on how to like tweak your audio at the best levels.
Sick.
We'll make sure to link everybody's stuff at the in the video too, so that'll be seamless for anyone watching. Hopefully.
Yeah, I do kind of want to jump back over to the Stream Deck. I don't think we gave this little piece of equipment the proper praise, right? I mean, because
I can at least show it off.
Yeah, right.
Long enough for this.
Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, right. This is the best thing on the freaking planet. Sorry, the quality on that one was rough.
Starting out,
I've been trying to get Mikey to get one.
I don't have one. I don't have one.
Starting out, this device was like already just from the get-go, because chat, anyone who's ever streamed and you haven't bought one, you can literally set up your scenes. So you just hit buttons, you can mute yourself, all that kind of stuff. You can mute your friends who are also on chat and on call. You can set up macros even. So you could have like, I've got one macro that literally just mutes the Discord chat for my group, even though I have like 3 other buttons that will also mute anyone in my Discord chat. But some of the smallest things that are in there are the newer features that they've added with their, they've got a Stream Deck shop that not a lot of people talk about. Some of the bigger YouTubers who have covered the Stream Deck have touched on it a bit, but like there's a plugin that I just got. You can't really see it thanks to glare, but this button right here is a little plugin, and it's just a color picker. I have monochromancy. I can't see color. I have physically no way of seeing any color on this planet. It's all black and white for me. I grayscale it.
Huh.
So finding the right color for color correction or video editing, not a fun time, terrible time. And normally what I would have to do, oh, no, trust me. My wife asked me to get things. She's like, hey, you'd be surprised how often you describe a thing using the color.
Yeah.
8 years with my wife. She still does it. Best friend of 10 years, still does it. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all.
Well, if it's any consolation, your setup looks really nice. Like I like those colors you chose.
Yeah, the
for your
colors
setup.
match too, right? Like everything flows really nice in the back.
I
I
don't know if that
cheated
was
and
like a
used my
low
wife's
blow.
eyes.
I was queued up. I was like, this guy's joshing. There's no way this guy doesn't see color and has it looking that nice. Because I was like, no. There's just
Oh yeah,
not.
no, it's
I have
it's
full
all
color.
It's
I
all
can't.
very specifically set up thanks to her being like, that's pretty
Shout
much
out.
the color you need.
Good job.
Shout out to her. She's in the other room
Yeah.
watching TikTok videos probably.
Amen.
But yeah, no, the Stream Deck, just that one little plugin. If you hover your mouse over something and you hit that button, it automatically grabs the hex code for that color.
That's sick.
And like just
Oh,
the small
sweet.
little things like that are
Mhm.
like, oh, I never thought I needed that.
See,
Now
I
do.
don't know how that would help me, but you guys talking up Stream Deck, like I've heard about Stream Deck. I've had friends that stream that have Stream Decks. I haven't gotten one. I think I need to get one.
Think of it like this. It's more than just. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to go, Juco?
I've been wondering this forever because I've seen it in your stream. My buddy who streams music and like Tarkov, he has the same piece of equipment behind you to your back, right? The sound like board thing. How can that not be repurposed into a Stream Deck? It's like literally so similar, right?
It can
Like,
be.
okay,
It can be because all Stream Decks is a macro pad.
Yeah, that's what I
You can
thought.
use it. You can use it for streaming. You can use it for programming. You can use it for multiple situations.
Yeah, that
I
mock right there.
also yeah.
So this it's a little dusty because I haven't used it in a minute. I'm sorry.
I know.
I use this.
I love
use
it when this man uses this though. I love
I
this
use
man's
this
music.
a lot more. I didn't talk about me making music. That's something like you can talk to me about in stream because that's something that you guys are going to get a lot of this year.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
just
Ooh.
going to say that. I will not have links.
Heard it here
for-
first, folks.
I will not have
Heard it
links
here
for
first.
this video, but this year I'm not holding anything back. I'm not saying new year, new me, new year resolution or anything like that. But just know that 2022 will finally see who I am.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say.
waiting on, man. That's what I've been waiting on.
This thing right here is an MPC. It's made by Native Instruments, and from my knowledge, only works in that program.
Okay, see that's important. to know.
That's the difference. Yeah.
When I've tried to use this with Logic Pro X, I can use it, but the software doesn't. They like
nice.
don't speak together very
Yeah.
well. They argue.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
So that's the main reason why I don't use this as much as I should. It makes things super simple for making music. Trying to use it,
Repurposing?
like repurposing it, trying to use it for something like a Stream Deck is not in my forte. It may be something you can look into, Rin. But as far as I know, the software that's in this with Native Instruments isn't going to communicate well with anything but their OEM like stuff.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, that makes sense.
One of my favorite things about the Stream Deck is that it not only do you have the 15 buttons, right? But within each of those, you can put like you have like let's say you have your Twitch and all your Twitch stuff is in there, you have your YouTube, all your YouTube stuff's in there, whatever, right? But inside those, you can put folders. And just with a touch of a button, it'll open up another folder. And inside that folder, you have 14 more slots.
Are you
You
looking
know,
it
it's-
up right now, Rin?
No.
We all saw the little light change on
Yeah,
your
we
face. We're like,
did.
hold up.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
My
you're
bad.
good. You're good, man. That's pretty funny. One of my favorite things about the Stream Deck is that I now finally have my own little soundboard. It's I mean, just that little bit alone. The first time I used it, right, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna make this play, right? When I was streaming. And the second I showed my face, I got melted, died right there. Boom. And I just pressed the button and in came the sad violin music. And as I just like stared.
Those are those small things, but they add add to it.
Yeah, exactly.
so
And the
much.
chat just started cracking up. You know, people are like, "Oh my god, I freaking love this!" You know, and it that little thing just enhanced. But I also have it set up where like people will you know, if someone follows or subscribes or gift subs or donate bits or donations, whatever, blah, 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 I press a button and a chat will appear right underneath it that says thank you so much with a heart, you know, and I can set it so that it has any message to go to it. It's really good if you want to remain, or if you're extremely interactive with your community, right? There are some streamers that are like, hey, come watch this gameplay, and you are, I mean, laser focused, and there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy watching pro gamers because it's some pretty awesome stuff, right? But you know, on the flip side,
talent levels aren't as up to par as I was like them to be.
yeah, I rely on memes and funny moments.
When I
to
jump
get
in the
going.
backline as Doomfist and say I killed 3, I really just died 3 times without even doing 300 damage.
Yeah,
so
he
I'm
said,
gonna
I
build
killed
my health
3.
on
I'm like,
somebody
did
else.
you? I'm sitting here like, are you sure? Because I have at least 4 on me, and that math doesn't add up. But yeah, it's super interactive, and it's an amazing piece of equipment. Elgato Stream Deck. Please go ahead and you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Promote me, or let me
Well,
promote
that's
you.
what I was
please,
about to
please.
say before we hop into one of the new questions is like at this point Elgato. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah,
y'all are watching.
Yeah.
Can we get a sponsor? What's happening here? We've been hyping you
I
up.
promise.
I'll
I
slap an
promise.
icon in the corner if you
I
don't do
will-
it.
I've already
Yeah,
done
we will
product reviews
hype you.
before, so
Dude, I will shill till the cows come home. Whoever it is, it's I'm not gonna
Raid
name
Shadow
anybody.
Legends.
Oh,
That's what I was about to
no.
say. No more name dropping because I don't want any free promotion. But you know who you are, companies that will sponsor any video ever. And we're in a video right now, not to get too meta, but let me know. DMs are open.
Just caress this
I'm a
one
guy
more
looking for
time.
the
Hold on.
bag.
I use this every day. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's
So-
my favorite thing.
funny enough, somebody actually has an ongoing project to use that machine as a stream deck.
That's kind of crazy.
It's like the things that are in my brain deserve to be out in the world, and that's all I'll say about it.
I mean,
I
I
don't
would
know how
agree with that
successful the
statement
project is, but-
100%.
So the next thing I wanted to get you guys' input on before we'll do this segment, and then at the end we'll just do a quick wrap about whatever you guys want to talk about, some funny stories specifically. But right now I want to get your guys' opinion on what do you recommend for people starting out when it comes like for challenges they may run into and how maybe you tackled that, and also advice to get your channel out there, because it's very much a platform that, you know, of course you can go live on Twitch and then people could accidentally find you on Twitch, but that method is like, I think everybody understands that that's not enough. You got to have like some sort of other presence. And what do you all think either works for you, or what would you recommend people to do, or maybe to avoid?
I'm going to say one app, and I don't use this app. I'm very bad at social media. Like I said, I will be hooking y'all up this year. So be on the lookout. But TikTok, if you don't have a TikTok and you're not making content on TikTok, you are losing. And I'm not going to say I've done the math, but you are losing 80% of like the available
Demographic.
platforms, like
I mean,
demographic. Yes.
TikTok
Like
did surpass Google in searches last
YouTube.
month.
I will shit
Wait,
you
did it
not.
really?
I
Yeah.
will shit you not.
Wow.
If you start to make content on TikTok, you will grow no matter what, because that platform is just booming.
Just makes sense too, because it's one of those platforms that transcends borders way better than a lot of other ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was initially made in China, if I have my facts straight,
You
which
are
is like
correct.
one of the
Yeah, basically.
hardest demographics to get into as someone from NA or maybe even like EU to some degree, because they're just so separated. But when
Mm.
you
I
have something
think
like
there's-
TikTok,
I think to a degree, there's still some like if you just open up an account, I think there's
Yeah.
still some geotagging that like keeps you within certain areas unless you go looking for
that's
other
yeah,
countries and stuff.
that's what I was about to say,
I mean,
because if you look for
get to a
content,
point where though.
yeah,
It has the potential
ahead,
to be
go ahead.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like, I mean, blow up, you have a
I
chance.
saw
to be
somebody
seen all around the
repost a
world.
video that was like our high school era, like meme video. I don't remember what the hell it was.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a video of two donkeys in a field, and it's a voiceover, and like one's trying to like move the fence, and he like bites the piece of wood and moves it. And I'm like, this thing has 480,000 likes.
This is
This
from
That's
thing
not
is
even counting
like
the
10
views.
years old.
Dude, how about the guy who just sits there and he's eating from his plate and then he just starts dancing?
Dude,
It's just-
mukbangs are wild. Those are
Bro,
so
yeah,
popular.
I can't do this.
It's unreal. Like you make something on TikTok, it will get seen. Whether
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna get positive or negative from that, that's up to the content you put
Just like
out
YouTube,
there.
don't look at the comments.
Exactly. Don't
Yeah,
look at the
seems to be.
comments. But you know,
Actually, that's a really good piece of advice, real quick. It's not just don't look at the comments because you do what you want. When starting out and you're plugging in your Twitch or whatever, you're going to get a lot of bounce back.
Mm.
A lot. People are going to try to negatively dissuade you from doing it. Nah, stay strong, my kings and queens. You keep going. You do you. I promise you, at the end, you will move past the point of where, like when I first started and I was shamelessly plugging in my Twitch because I'm like, yeah, I'm a new streamer. Come on, come follow me. Maybe we can vibe, right? And people come in like, bro, you're fat. You just shut up, man. You're annoying. You know what, man? I hope you have a wonderful day. You can take your leave, or you can just.
You know what I would have told them? I'd have told them he's fat, PHAT, pretty hot and tempting. Let's go,
Yeah,
baby.
Drip, drip.
Say something about this man again. I swear to God.
Meanwhile,
There's gonna be a point.
My moderators were just like, yeah, he's a little fat. He's still eating the cake.
Right?
Dang, you got some good mods.
Yeah,
good.
your mods are
I
on
looked
your
at the camera.
shit, man.
I looked at the camera. I was like, remember that when D&D rolls around next week? I'll remember that. or to be precise, when Vampire the Masquerade rolls around, I will remember that.
Here we go.
Yeah, those 17s you're rolling are gonna start turning into 13s, and I can't be held responsible.
They roll D10s. There's no
Oh
D20
my
for them.
gosh. Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
those 6s
Good
you're
luck.
rolling are gonna turn into 4s, and I can't be
Good
held
luck.
responsible of what happens after that. So
But
Wild
like
how
I
it
was
happened.
saying, just keep pushing forward because you will eventually find your community, and it will attract other incredible people. And I mean, like for example, I took a 14, almost 15-day vacation, right? And I just did my first stream of 2022 a couple days ago, and the second I went live, I already had 3, 4, 5 people immediately jumping in on it. Oh my God, Happy New Year's! And it's things like that that make me forget about those moments when I first started out that were really rough, and people were really, really trying hard to bounce, like take you away. Like, why are you doing this? There's all these other big streamers that I mean, why would I give my time to you? Oh man, freaking shrug that shit off your shoulder. Don't worry about none of that, because you will find people who love your content. You will find people who will even just sit there. They don't have to comment, but I appreciate the viewership, and I tell them that at the end of every stream. Thank you for sitting by and viewing. I appreciate you. And people come in like, dude, I love the vibes here. I love it. Because there will be those people who come off from a long day at work, whatever. They just want to sit down and relax. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna open up some Twitch. I'm gonna pop into your channel. And you're like, here I am.
Yep.
And they're here to vibe.
You
I've
guys
had
remember
regulars for
your
years.
you guys remember your favorite TV shows when like like I don't really watch much TV now, but like I watch like streams and stuff. But like you guys remember your favorite TV shows? That's how somebody brought this to my attention. That's how some people view these streams nowadays. It's like they come home or they are home or they finish whatever they're doing and they get on these channels to watch their favorite streamer or their thing, and it's like their favorite episode. Or you know what I mean? It's like their favorite show is coming on, and you just get to sit there and vibe, and then they get to engage. It's really something else. It's really something else. So
I think one of the things that I would always recommend is that when it comes to like starting out and like being aware of certain things, if you're jumping in and if you don't have anybody that can sit in your chat, like when you're first starting out streaming, like a close friend that wants to chill. Like I got a tabletop group, which consists of like 8 or 9 people. So I hit affiliate like 2 weeks. It was very easy. It's not a problem. And most of my content was geared around tabletop games. So I kind of had an easier in than the average person. Because if you're playing just games, then it is already harder. Like I'm
Yeah.
a pure numbers and statistics kind of guy. There's now over 9 million people streaming on Twitch. And so if you're going in and you're like, I want to be number one, Chief, you might want to lower those expectations a little bit and start just building the brand, building the community where it's like everyone wants to be there.
Yeah.
Whether it's just you're playing Overwatch or you're playing Call of Duty or you're playing D&D, just focus on enjoying yourself, because if you're doing something you don't enjoy, everybody watching is gonna know. There's no everyone knew I was hating Banjo-Kazooie. There was no mystery about it. But at that point, they were having a blast because they loved to watch me suffer. It's a whole different brand. It's world. Like, absolutely, like the best thing you can do besides that, if you don't have people like that to like help like get that foot in the door kind of like started, is go to other streams, but don't just like walk in and be like, hey, I just started streaming. Here's my Twitch. Genuinely get to know the people.
Make
Find
some
a group
friends
that you
throughout the
vibe well
community.
with,
Yeah.
and still do your streams like normal. But if anybody asks, like, oh, do you stream? You're like, yeah, you know, I stream same stuff you guys do, blah, blah, blah. I do this, that, and whatever.
There's actually like an unspoken rule on Twitch. It's like don't self-promote in other people's.
Oh,
do
it's
not
not even
self-promote.
It's not even unspoken. People have it in their rules. Like when you click on the chat for the first time, like, don't self-promote.
Don't be self-promote.
Because like you know, nobody wants to like have that person come in and be like, come watch me. You know,
another thing that I love doing, because I still, you know, I'm pushing close to almost 400 followers now on Twitch.
Let's go.
Which is huge for me since I only started in April. It's been less than a year, right? But for the most part, I still love if I have, if I finish a stream off and I have like 5 viewers or 3 viewers, whatever, I still will turn around and raid a smaller streamer who maybe isn't affiliate yet, who can use the views, stuff like that. So then usually playing the same game so that you also help other smaller streamers than yourself, as well as you get to meet more of the community that way.
Yeah, most
I would give a small bit of advice on the raiding. Don't raid somebody who's pushing for partner.
Don't do that.
Because those people, I've got 4 friends who are partners. And even though I'm now streaming on YouTube strictly, I'm still good friends with them and I still talk to them weekly. When one of them, my buddy Sixation, was going for a partner, we found out the hard way through his rep when he was applying for a partner that they look at your average stream viewer count, which has to be 75 to hit partner. And if you got rated, that would tank your numbers.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, even if you're crushing it, like you got 130 people for like the whole thing and you're ready to apply, being rated actively hurt like your numbers. So yeah. Small bit of advice for anyone out there. If you just happen to know a friend who's pushing for partner, just don't rate them that time until they hit partner. Then keep rating them. They're just fine. I don't know why that's the policy. Twitch does whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's a weird entity.
The curtain's up, so you kind of just got to roll with the punches, from what I understand. But
basically,
just so we get to the stories part, because I want to hear everybody's going to go around. Think of it now while Elijah and I talk about the poll, the Watchathon. But just think about funny thing that's happened on stream. But King, Elijah, I mean, I name dropped, but you name dropped me, so it's fair.
It's
so
fair.
Tell us about the Watchathon and the info in the poll about it, if you could, for like 5 minutes.
Absolutely. So right now, maybe less. As of right now, Aura Fury is getting ready to do their next Watchathon. It's where we take all our content creators, whether they're on Twitch or YouTube or anything like that, and we usually try to do a week or maybe 2 weeks, depends on how everyone wants to do this. And we will set up times where all the content creators are like, hey, I'm going to stream this time, at this time, and this time. And people will be like, okay. And we take our viewers and we just put them in another. When you're done streaming, you're like, hey, let's see who's online. It's doing the Watchathon here in Aura Fury. You'll look at it and you're like, got it. And you go rate them, or you just drop your viewers. It was extremely successful last time. People saw their numbers of followers shoot through the roof. They've had a higher average followers gained, subs gained, more active chatters in their streams. It was a tremendous time. You get to meet new people. We had so much fun doing this, so much fun doing it. And it was really, really a great opportunity, not just for everyone, but also for the smaller streamers we have in our community, you know, who are trying to build. And even now and then I'll go into other streamers that I've rated before in Aura Fury, and hey man, how's it going? You know, what's going on? What you doing? You know, it was extremely successful. I mean, we had such a blast doing it. But the poll that Juka High was talking about is inside the content creators text chat in Aura Fury. We're gonna put a poll there for everyone to kind of put in, hey, what are the best dates for everyone to want to do this? Okay. Right. So please go in there, put your input, go ahead and vote in the poll. Excuse me. But I cannot express how successful it truly was. And everyone had just so much fun doing it. And you get to meet more people that are in the community. You know, since I've joined the community back in, never mind, I know the date. It was May 25th. It was my birthday because I was doing a birthday stream, and I did one of those shameless plugs. You know, I was talking like, hey, you know, happy birthday stream, come by. It was actually Rom Girl who jumped into my stream because she was playing some Overwatch and she saw it in the general chat, and she invited me to Aura Fury. I was still really, really small, and she was like, hey, I think you'd have a lot of fun here, and I was like, okay, cool, I want to try, I want to test this out. And since joining, it's been an absolute blast, and the Watchathon was amazing, especially for a small streamer like myself to be rated, you know, and also rating, because it was also my first time ever rating somebody. It was a lot of fun. And granted, like I said, you know, I did it with like 2 people at the time, but it was still absolutely, it was like such a fun time. And you just get to meet, you see different variety of games, how they're being played, what's about. It's actually the first time I learned about Vintage Story, which is like Minecraft, but so much more detailed. It's insane. Like next level detailed insane. And
yeah, we had
a lot of fun doing it, and I hope my hope and the goal is that we get even more content creators than last time, and we all put in the hours that we're going to do this. It's going to be so much fun. So please, like I said earlier, when the poll comes up, go ahead and jump into it. Go ahead and hit the vote and let us know, and then we'll all do one big collaboration as a community. And I think it would be fantastic.
Sounds dope.
So on that, we'll do the same way we introduce ourselves. If you want to just go around, obviously it can be more organic than that if somebody has something to say about it. But let's talk about funniest things or funny, memorable moment that you've had with your time creating content. It doesn't even have to be specifically Twitch or YouTube. It could be anything. It could be a podcast, could be like someone else streaming for you, and like a tournament, or like you said, like a watchathon kind of thing. Anything, any sort of content you produce for you, just it's ingrained in there. That the Magna Carta, it's in there.
The first thing that came to mind wasn't anything funny. It was like a deep ass emotional thing. I don't know if you want me to talk about that.
Go for it. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be funny. It just, again, it's stuck in there.
Those 2 a.m. streams. Oh man,
it was like
real.
It was definitely like 1:30, 2 a.m. in the morning. I got raided. I was playing Final Fantasy 14. I got raided by a really, really, really nice guy. No Time for Ambition. He brought in like 20 or so people. I think it was like 23, and he was just talking to them on stream. He was doing just chatting, and I had like 10 or 11 people in my chat. They were grilling me on some like real deep questions, right? And a song came on, and we were talking about music. Music is a really huge influence in my life, as you can see in the background, as you will learn one day with my music if you ever, you know, see that through. But I was talking about how a Kid Cudi album saved my life, like quite literally saved my life at a time where I wasn't doing too well. And I turned off my camera for a little bit. I was very emotional, and there was people there supporting me who to this day message me and talk about how I just talking to them and was just there that day being raw and just giving whatever I had to them there. They still message me to this day saying thank you. And it surprises the hell out of me that you can get deep with people and you can really connect with people online like that. Like everybody who says that online friends are just online friends, like I will know some of you people for the rest of my entire life, whether you like it or not. I will be there for you, with you, by you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have expressed that to me too. So one thing that really stuck out to me was like it was late. I was smoking a little bit. I was really in my feels, man. I was really in my feels, and I got to really connect with people and watch, kind of like I had like an out of body experience, you know? Like I got to watch how people build each other up. And it's something that I will always strive for and I will always push, always. Like, I'm sorry for getting emotional. I do laugh 99% of the rest of the time, but I do believe that, you know, when it's time to bear it all, like, don't be shy, don't be afraid, unless it's like something you don't feel comfortable with. And by all means, let nobody push you to do anything you don't want to do. But man, if I can say something that really stuck with me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're hearing this, thank you, because that night, I don't remember what day it was, but that night literally like flipped the script for me and made me realize like I can keep going. You know what I mean? So to the next. Sorry, take it away.
No,
It
no,
was a good
no.
story. It was a good story.
You know.
Yeah, no, it was, and I too have been in some of your streams where I've bared it out to you before, man. Like how you remind me of my older brother and stuff like that. It gets beautiful. It gets beautiful. One of my most memorable moments. I have two actually. One's kind of crazy. One's like, wow, I never thought that would happen. So I have a favorite YouTuber. His name is Level Uplifting. He does a lot of Overwatch content, and this actually happened about close to a month ago now. And one day I just kind of jumped into his stream and sat there. And she's obviously got like a whole bunch of people. He's got over 500,000 followers on YouTube. You know, I didn't expect to be ever singled out. Blah blah blah. But I got to know him a little bit through Twitch and stuff like that, and he found out I was streaming, and I was just doing my thing. I think I had like maybe I know I had like maybe 13 people in my chat at the
I was
time.
in there.
I know you were. I know you were because I started screaming your name. But I was just playing Overwatch, and all of a sudden I get this huge raid of like 93 people. It was absolutely insane, and I was like, "Yo, what the?" And I was like, I clipped it. It's on my channel. I have it when it's titled "When You Get Rated by the Best YouTuber Ever," and it was, I mean, insane. I couldn't even keep up with chat. Because I'm sure like as you grow as a streamer, you slowly learn to like, hey, okay, I can pick this out, right? But, no, that happened so fast, and it was so insane. And he was in there. Another one of his buddies who I follow on Twitch were in there, and it was such a memorable moment and a wave of such an incredible thing to really end the year on. My first year streaming, 2021, and even to this day, like a lot of those people still come back into my chat like, "Yo, King, what's up, man?" I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" And they're like, "Bro, we love coming in here," and I'm like, "This is crazy." Another one I had a high schooler who came into my chat, and he was just like, "Hey, I saw your Twitch in Gen chat. I was came in here," and I was like, "Well, what's up, dude?" And he started asking for advice, like high school advice. I'm 24 years old. I'm still, by all means, sort of kind of fresh out of high school. I graduated in 2015. And he was just asking for advice. And I was like, yeah, we'll try this. I think it was like one of it was like about a girl, what he should do. And I told him, and like other one was like drama, like, oh, come on, man. High school drama never sticks. I promise it will not matter in 2 years after you're out of high school. It just,
Avoid it.
it's just,
That's all I gotta do.
none of the drama will ever matter, I promise. But I gave him some advice. I was like, man, look, listen, dude, if you really like this girl, just tell her how you feel. What's the worst she's gonna say to you? No? Okay, whatever. Some people are gonna find out and be like, dork, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like in 2 years, none of that's gonna matter because no one cares about high school after high school. Well, he came back into my stream about a week and a half later, and he was like, hey, King, do you remember me? And I was like, yeah, dude, what's going on, man? What's up? And he was like, I took your advice. And I was like, oh, how'd it go? He's like, well, I have a girlfriend now. And I was like, oh, shit, let's go. You know, and it's those moments where you can, you know, give someone advice in their life that, you know, you've gone through, obviously, you know, in a way to just like, hey, man, you know what? Just fucking bear it out. Just go do it. Worst I can say is no. Actually, it's probably ill, but like, you know, whatever. It's
That's
you know?
Aw.
Yeah. But like at the same time, you know, you will never know unless you just go do it. Right? You'll just forever live in the dark.
You miss
Right?
100% of the
100%. You miss 100.
Miss 100 the shots.
Percent of the
See,
time.
you get
That's
to
right.
you get
Classic.
to meme me. We can laugh at me.
I was watching a show of Will Smith, National Geographic show that he did, and he was like, you know, my grandmother always told me that the best parts of life are beyond the cliff of fear, or something similar like that. And I was like, you know, damn, that's pretty actually profound. It really is when you just make that jump, make that leap, and it's basically kind of what I just told him to do, and he really did it. You know, and he started dating this girl, and I was just like, you know, go for it, dude. And he was like, came in, he's like, this is the best, man. Thank you. And I was like, nah, dude, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me this chance to experience something.
Good thing that advice panned out.
Yeah, I'm really glad
He came
because he
back and
probably would have
she
hated
said
me.
no and called me
She
ugly.
said ew, and she laughed at me, and then I peed my pants. And I was like, oh no, I ruined this kid's life.
It's a bad day.
I've ruined a perfectly good human being. I've given them anxiety.
But you know, you have those moments when you stream that are just, I mean, chef's kiss, that really, really just change your whole view and make you want to keep doing it.
What you got, Ray?
Meanwhile, I have nothing profound to offer. I'm 31. I've profound myself out. I have friends. I've got a friend who's like 22, and I still give him advice to this day. And I solely attribute it to the fact that everything he's done, I have literally already done. All of it.
Well, yeah, it's
around
insane.
8 years ago. I was like, I met my wife, and I was like, no, I'm fine. I was already a passive person to begin with, so trouble and drama was always, it was relationship involved 99% of the time. Like, things aren't going well in the relationship. We broke up. I meet somebody else. Moving on, loves life. But so yeah, no, for streams, I don't have anything profound. All I have that's stuck in my head is what eventually led to at least I would consider a pretty good friend. As far as somebody that I've met through Twitch exclusively, was a streamer who became a partner like about a year after I met him, named Dr. Orochi. And
So you're about to say Dr. Disrespect? I was about to lose my mind.
No. I don't watch that content. That no problem to anyone who does. I just not for me. For me. Usually when I watch streams for Twitch, I'm a retro guy. I like watching other people play retro games. That's like the thing that I like to do.
What's
if
fair?
I'm anything else,
Everyone
like,
has their own niche.
I'd rather play the thing. Like if it's vintage story, I kind of sometimes like I'll watch Ashton's videos on like the new updates and patches to get a better idea because I usually don't get to test them out immediately. I have an obscene hobby schedule, so I use her as my shortcut.
I believe it,
dude. I love that.
It makes my life so much easier. Every time she's like, hey, I need help with something, I'm like, oh god, I gotta help her quick because if she doesn't get the video out, then I don't know what the fuck's going on. I can read the patch notes, but that's not the same thing as seeing it visual on video.
For real.
But was when Dr. Orochi dropped off 800 people in my chat. I was like,
wow.
I was like,
wow.
The
And you
sauce.
just kind
I
of
hate to
look,
just
you
pay-
just kind of
I was like,
looking at
800. I was like, it was like 860 something. And I was like, I'm about to disappoint almost 1,000 people here. This is like my family reunion all over again.
all at one go. All in one
Just
go.
all at once.
Oh,
I'm
let's
like,
bring it on. Come on.
what was I playing? I think I was playing a PlayStation 1 game that is near and dear to my heart to the point where I have 2 copies of it. Legend of Legaia.
Crash Bandicoot. Never mind.
Crash Bandicoot.
I have that, but no, it was not that. It was a JRPG because I love some old school PlayStation 1 JRPGs like Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh, masterpiece. That Project Triangle that was announced this year. Oh my God. It's rare that I'm going to be like at the door banging on a GameStop or a Best Buy. I'm like, you will let me in.
Hello.
You will let me in.
The name Project Triangle, not that good. Gonna be
No, I'm
honest
about
with
to
you.
say, I was like, that's
But
kind
I
of
played the demo. It's so goddamn good. Oh, it's so good. The demo is so good. I was like,
gotta check
oh,
this out now.
finally. It's been, if you like turn-based, like tactical RPGs with like a giant class-based system and a really good story, Project Triangle is literally like the grandchild of Final Fantasy Tactics. I'll be shocked.
Is it now Triangle Strategy?
I think it's maybe. I know it originally was like Project Triangle Strategy. And I think they dropped Project. I think maybe it's now just Triangle Strategy.
I think they
I just
dropped
remember hearing the
project.
name and I was like, this is not a good name.
the Final Fantasy 14 streamer and learning the JRPG side, the tactician side of Final Fantasy.
See, I never played any Final Fantasy games up until right now. This is my first one that
Which
I've
one are you
played.
playing right now?
14.
Playing
online.
14,
Oh,
like,
God.
would you count that? Is the question? Would you count it?
I would look. Okay, that's a loaded question.
It's just different. It's not worse. It's not better.
Final Fantasy 14 people would be coming for me. They'd be like,
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
I heard what you
Never
said.
mind.
And
There's
you're
no.
about
We
to-
don't
You're
need
about
that
to
one of them-
disappoint over 1 million people with this
Yeah.
comment. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, 2 of them live in my apartment complex. My friend Marshall and his boyfriend would be knocking on my door, be like, "You fucking said what?"
I'll say, I'll take full blame for this one. Is as someone who's played Final Fantasy, and then I saw Final Fantasy on Twitch and like YouTube and stuff. I was like, this is not what I played when I was playing Final Fantasy. Not at all. So it's very different. And the people in the community are very cool. They got tons of content, and they get a bunch of cool stuff that I wish was in the Final Fantasies that I was growing up.
Still
with.
count it. I'd
So,
still count it.
There it is. So
I would count it, but
It's just
I mean,
different.
it's still Final Fantasy. It just
Different.
Final Fantasy
It's
has
different.
a wide breadth of whatever it wants, and with 16, apparently we're gonna dip our toes into Dark Souls because
Dude, all
why
I
not?
know
Actually,
is this is the first time, like, I don't mean to like, promote like what we were talking about earlier, but this is the first time I've ever seen
sponsored.
a company take the game away from the public. You can no longer buy this
Yes,
game
true.
because we are too damn good.
Yeah, it's grown too big. They
Like-
can't. The servers can't keep up.
Dude,
Like,
I've got 5
it's
friends
insane.
asking me like, "Hey, did you hear anything yet? Did you hear anything yet? Can I play the game now? I really want to play with you, bro. I'm gonna have to fucking just give up on the game if I can't
the
play with
irony
you."
is I made an account and then never played it.
All
right, hear me
well,
out.
at least you have
If
the
you play
account.
D&D and tabletop games, there is no time for other things. Like,
Final Fantasy
That
is
is-
very big. 14 online.
Yeah.
oh,
There's
I know.
so much going on.
I used to play World of Warcraft. Trust me.
Yeah.
And I'm talking original World of
Yeah.
Warcraft.
Yeah.
So time sinks. I played RuneScape when it first came out. I'm actually, I have a small itty bitty claim to fame. I am one of the original 1,000 people who used to play.
Dude, I gotta introduce you to a friend. Then I have
I'm
I have 2
old.
friends that currently play OSR.
Also RuneScape. Clan.
Yeah. So they would love to be. Maybe I'll introduce
I
them
remember
to
when
your
the game
stream.
was 2D.
Yeah. Dude, see, the thing is, I couldn't get into RuneScape because my friend hacked. So like I made an account, I played, and then he just came up to me and was like, "Look what I got, look what I got, look what I got, look what I got, look what I got." I was like, "Dude, you started this game when I did. What the fuck?" And I just got
There
turned
were
off
item
right
hacks
there.
and dupes that were a problem for a good bit that have popped up over the years. But yeah, I haven't played it in a long time, but every once in a while I still jump on to see what shenanigans has been brewing over the years. I think my old account that I still can't get access to because I don't have the email for that, because that email doesn't even exist anymore, because that company doesn't exist anymore. And Jagex's support staff is not the best. My oldest account, I think, has like 80 million, 90 million worth of gold in there. And like, I had like, for anyone who played RuneScape, I had like 40, 50 party hats in there.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I was collecting them because I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I had friends back when party hats were literally just like, no one cared.
Yeah.
I was like, I like to collect them. And people would like, why do you collect them? You can't see the color. And I'm like, because I like to bug people by wearing.
I have the hats, you don't, so.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, no one cared about the hats for like the better part of like 2 years. No one cared. And then people got upset in the community. People got upset because they couldn't, like, life happens. So they would miss the event for the hat and whatnot. So they would miss out on the item. So then the developers were like, okay, well, we'll just stop doing those party hats. Well, congrats. You made a black market overnight. So like, I think like red and blue party hats were going for like 10 million gold, which back then was like, you'd pay somebody hundreds of dollars for that. And it's like, I think there's some severe inflation now. I don't think they're worth half as much. I think my prime time to have sold that account, if I was going to do that kind of thing, would have been like 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, like insane. I remember like before dragon items were even an option, like the best you could get was rune.
Dude, what do you think is going to happen? I don't know if this question is like okay to throw out there. I know we're a little bit short on time here, but what do you think is going to happen to all like the Fortnite accounts with all of the stuff that they have?
with the original,
how do you think that's going to turn out? Like, I have some stuff from Fortnite from season 1, but it's like I don't know if I'm ever going to be willing to sell that because the information that goes with that account.
I mean, you know, Tencent exists, and you know they got a fat chunk of change inside of Epic. So if I had to wager a blind guess, it would be this year's dirty word, NFTs. Because Tencent's going to want that money. They don't want you to just sell the account. But if you got a rare item that's worth a lot of money, I could definitely see them being like, oh, let's just slap NFTs on all these cosmetics and then let people sell them, and we skim a portion off the top.
Tencent
per transaction.
Tencent doesn't want that money. Tencent wants money. And Tencent can get money.
That's called aggregate money. When you've got how many people play Fortnite? I'm old. I don't play Fortnite.
Dude, I don't play Fortnite either.
It doesn't
Tencent
Fortnite Holdings has everything. They're in Overwatch too. Like it's everywhere.
They have their fingers in a lot of honeypots.
Just
a lot of honeypots that people don't know about.
Yeah,
because you don't see their name on the
knowledge,
front sometimes. So.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And like in Valorant, like people are paying hundreds of dollars for a gun skin in a game that's free.
We can talk about CS:GO another time, but
I'm just
but that's
like Valve's been doing it for years. Everyone else is just now picking up like, hey, we could do that too.
What if my knife was blue? The world changed with that
knife. I'll feel better inside.
But
me, I'd rather use polka dot.
I think with that, and we got everybody's stories, we'll probably have to call it a wrap. So if there's anything you guys want to do with calling out your channels, anything for self-promo, this is the time before we wrap it up and say our goodbyes.
Any social media, highest flow at the end of it. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I'm going to be making TikToks. Highest flow, twitch.tv/highest flow is where you can catch me. I stream mostly Monday through Friday at any given time. So hell yeah, Batman. Be prepared for the music too. I'm gonna let y'all know.
I'm excited.
I'm gonna let y'all know there's music gonna be coming soon. In about a month or so, I'm gonna create a YouTube account and it's gonna be titled Highest Flow, most likely, and there will be DMCA free music that I will be making for streamers and content creators to use however they like.
It's a good investment. I know a guy who makes about $180,000 a month from his DMCA free music.
And it will be DMCA free. I will not strike you. I promise.
That's a promise. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I'm of the same mind. Twitch.tv/KingReaper33. YouTube channel is on its way. Dropping the first video tomorrow on Friday, the 14th.
This will come out after that, so
Probably.
so they'll
Never
already have
mind.
seen it.
It'll
Hopefully,
already be
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you haven't, the YouTube video is gonna be out.
So
The
go
first
check
one's
it
gonna
out.
be Gang Beast. It's gonna be
Oh?
fun. Oh, it's gonna be
Throwing
fun.
hands.
But yeah, you'll catch me live eventually when I start pushing out TikToks. Catch me live on Twitch, and we can get all that going.
For me, it's super easy. It's Rin Vendor on literally everything except for YouTube, which for some reason doesn't have that available. So it's Rin Vendor 101. I think I might have got an old account somewhere that I just don't know about.
I was gonna ask, what is
Great
your
at IT
what is your name? Is there like a
D&D
meaning
character?
D&D character?
It's a
There
D&D
you go.
character that I came up with when I was 8, and I've used it indefinitely for everything because I've never I show up to an old game, like something that's like 8 years, 9 years old, make an account, slap Rin Vendor, and it's like username works. And I'm like, sure, all right, fine.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm a lazy person. It just happened to be that I used it for everything and then started streaming, and I was like, I'm glad I did that. That made my life a lot easier in retrospect.
I don't have to think
But
about
yeah,
it.
check me out for anything on YouTube, especially, but Twitter as well for random terrible memes and hot takes on anything in the gaming industry that I think is absolutely absurd. If you really want my
Oh.
random opinion on the topic. But I'll be
Yeah,
doing, like I said earlier, I'll be doing video guides on content creation advice, as far as like getting the most out of like your budget for building computers, whether it's software, plugins, extra features that like you might not know about a piece of software, or things that might make your life just moderately easier in making content, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch.
Sweet.
nice.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it
I
out.
just got to actually do it.
There it is.
Press that button.
Econ's
You know
been
what I'm
waiting
saying?
press that
months.
Press
button.
that motherfucker.
It's not even pressing the button. It's that video editing.
Yeah, it's a
that.
bunch of buttons.
There's a many buttons. Press them all.
It'll be future videos is video editing advice too.
After
To
we
take
get
my
there.
own.
Solid.
Yeah.
Really
Well,
cool.
All right.
We're gonna try to
ladies and
plug as
gentlemen.
much of this in the description as possible. We're gonna do. Hopefully, we get all that in. But if not, you can edit it in post and make sure everything's in there that we need it. Social media is not real. YouTube's you're looking at it. Twitch, I don't do that. So easy enough for me. I appreciate everybody coming out to watch. I hope. Congratulations again to the winners of the Vigi Story. A bunch of the events that happened over the Winter Wonderland. Keep an eye on the polls for the Watchathon. Go follow these guys. All of them are great. All of them are funny. I promise you have a good time on all their streams. That's been it for us. This has been Juco, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day or evening. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace out.
See ya.